there's a buzz going on that there's a recession, a good amount of recession, at least this
Yeah,
year
definitely.
in United States and rest of the world. What's the whole scenario? Did that make you getting a job extremely difficult?
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
Um, the recession was really bad on
Mm.
tech,
Mm-hmm.
just because there's a huge bubble in software engineering, because so many companies were paying these software engineers like stupid high amounts of salary, right? Giving them so many benefits, giving them
Mm-hmm.
so many things, and eventually that bubble's gonna burst, and
Mm.
it did. It burst this year during my job hunt. It was so tough.
Mm.
I'm actually thinking of making a video on how I kind of survived this recession. But like I applied to over 200 jobs, and the interviewing process for software engineers was extremely difficult because of the recession. And then you had the layoffs, right? I don't know if you followed with the layoffs in Fang, but like Google,
Yeah.
Meta,
Insane,
all of
right?
right, and you're just seeing these massive layoffs that have
Mm.
never happened before. So the applicant pool becomes oversaturated because now you have Fang engineers competing with college graduates, and
Mm.
then the job market was just getting restricted and more restricted. So it's looked like, I don't want to say it's been the worst ever,
Mm.
because obviously we need to reflect on this, but it was looking bad to the point where like my professors were even saying like this is a really tough time for our students. But I was fortunate enough to find a job here in this market.
Yeah. Maybe it's because of your martial art background and work ethic, man. It just worked, right?
Maybe I just was like, okay, I worked so hard for this degree. There's
Mm-hmm.
no way I'm gonna like quit now.
Hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it was definitely tough, but I got through it.
Yeah. I wonder how it will compare to 2008 recession, but then again, I have no idea about that as well.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So it is 2019 when you got into a college, right? And it would have been like which month would you say in 2019 you got into UCSD?
September, I would say.
September, and December 2019, right? Like if I was in your shoes and everything would be shutting down, I like going out of my mind because is this like why does it happen to me? Because I
Yeah,
just
no, I
got
was
into college and everything shuts
right.
down and I'm paying this tuition fees to be in the Zoom class. What's going on, right? And that goes on for a year.
Yeah, no, it was so tough during that time, just because you're also losing out on the college experience too.
Hmm.
Obviously, this is a time where you're supposed to be, not only studying and doing and like at your studies, but you're supposed to be, meeting lifelong friends, because
Hmm.
you're, in the dorms or whatever. But obviously, I went back home,
Hmm.
and dude, that process sucked. That whole like 2 years sucked, but uh, I had a lot of free time, so I started like working out more. I started just picking up really good habits, and so I try to salvage a bad time.
Hmm. Yeah, and the biggest question that was in all of our heads was that it is very uncertain that what's going to happen when this going to end. Thankfully, right now things are kind of back to normal, at least how the colleges are operating. But then again, you see the recession thing that you talked about. Uh, I don't know if I should ask this, but I'm going to do it. Are you Gen Z? Like, were you born after 1997?
Yes, yeah.
So, is that term thrown around you all the time, like you are Gen Z?
Not really. I don't really think about it too much, but I guess
See,
I am.
there's an argument that Gen Z are very like spoiled and they get a lot of things handed over. And I did a podcast couple of episodes back, and I was talking about Gen Zs had it really bad. I mean, just look at your scenario right now. You went into a college. It's extremely difficult, first of all, to get a college like UCSD. You got into that, and that's when it shuts down. You're back home, and when it starts opening up, there's a recession. Like
Yeah,
this
exactly.
was not the situation in 2016, 2017, where everything was booming, right? So what do you say about that? Do you think that your generation got an extra dose of struggle?
I definitely do think so. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, I am the guy. I'm
Mm-hmm.
the Gen Z guy. So I obviously want to say my generation had it toughest, but I mean, like you said, pandemic, recession during uh, the time when we're supposed to be finding a job,
Hmm.
significantly tougher. I've talked to some like upperclassmen who are not Gen Z, like they're a little older than me, uh, and they were just getting opportunity. I'm not saying they didn't earn it, obviously, but they were just getting phenomenal opportunities that we literally just could not have this year because of the
Hmm.
recession, the pandemic, all of that stuff. We definitely had like this graduating class definitely had it the worst, I think, because again, the pandemic, recession, all that.
Hmm. I'm seeing a lot of boys and girls actually holding on to their graduation because they think that this recession phase might pass in a year or two. I'm talking about like master student. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's really bad right now. Better not graduate right now. They're going for an extra quarter or two of tuition fees to just hold on, wait for the wave to pass, right? But see, that's like a common. It has become a stereotype. Like Gen Z is the TikTok generation. They do cringe stuff. But then I see people like you who are making such good content, right? And
Thank you.
you cherished that opportunity when you were like sent back to home during the COVID pandemic. You utilized that time and made something good out of it.